our daily commute, in our inbox, and our everyday challenges. I'm talking about the narratives that we construct about who we are, what we can do, and who we are, what we can do, and what we're capable of. How often do you notice the stories that you tell and the stories that others might be telling? Stories are the language of being human. Our brains are wired to take in information and turn them into narratives that help us make sense of the world. These stories shape who we are, how we think, how we feel, and how we work with others. And I should have brought my notes. Stories shape how we think, how we feel, and how we respond. And the truth is, those stories can either unlock our potential, or they could be blocking us from the impact that we want to make. The good news is this: even if your story is blocking you, it isn't fixed. Our stories are like our brains, they can evolve and change. And my origin story goes back to when I was in university. It was semester break, and my professor demanded to see me in his office, where he proceeded to tell me, among other things, that I was in fact the worst student he had ever taught. I remember the sting of those words and feeling hurt and humiliated and thinking maybe I should just quit my teaching degree. I'm so glad I didn't. Eventually, I made some changes, regrouped, refocused. I did a lot better in my final year, and even landed myself an internship teaching English in Tunisia, which is a small country on the North African coast. And it was there during over 3 months of teaching in classrooms far from home that I proved to myself that I was more than capable. But that experience wasn't without challenges. There are a lot of stories I could tell from that time, and to make sense of it all, I started to write. And what started as a way to cope became something much more. I threw myself into storytelling, I took classes, and I fell in love with the craft, the precision of shaping plots, building tension, and uncovering meaning. And it was that passion that eventually led me into L&D. Storytelling is a craft, it's creativity, but it's also power. The power to notice what's important, to hold information and not be overwhelmed, to strip away what isn't necessary, and to uncover the meaning beneath. It's helped me to find a path through complexity, to communicate what's important, and to take people on a journey. And it's also helped me to notice the stories that are hiding everywhere. I argue that every learning experience has a story to tell, but we first have to find it. Because sometimes the most obvious story isn't the one that sparks change. Sometimes we need to dig deeper through questions, curiosity, and fresh perspectives to find the story that moves people. Think about it. How many of you have read a book that has completely transformed the way you see L&D? The magic isn't microlearning, it's not AI, it's not gamification, it's the story. It's the why before the how. Another story we might often miss is the one that we take people through. If transformation is our goal, how often do we stop to think about the journey that we take people through and how we unfold that story? I want to introduce you to a school in Denmark known as Chaos Pilot, and their mission is bold: to create the leaders of tomorrow. What really sets them apart is how profoundly transformative and emotional the journey is for their graduates. And I've experienced it myself doing a few professional courses with them. And that's because every learning experience is shaped using the learning arches. So as you can see here, the learning arches framework mirrors your classic story structure with 3 parts: set, hold, and land. Every learning experience, or every set in a learning experience, builds the scene and is the call to adventure. Hold is the rising action that holds complexity, conflict, and challenge. And land brings resolution, where your learners make meaning and prepare to carry it forward. So set, hold, land isn't just nice to have, it's the framework for transformation, creating both the space and the opportunity for discovery, conflict, challenge, and change. And these are all hallmarks of a great story and of a great learning experience. So there are countless stories waiting to be told and many more journeys waiting to be revealed. And as my time runs out, I want to leave you with this. When you step into your next design or your next challenge, your next opportunity, which story will you choose to tell? Thank you.